Welcome to the next series of software engineering. In this today we are discussing about the test strategy. Let us see this test strategy with the help of some design concept in software engineering. In software engineering there are several main design concepts. Learn about the types of software design, the patterns, segregation of data, modularity, data hiding, functional dependency, refractorization, and some concepts about design software engineering. So the basic software design consists of abstraction, pattern, separation of data, modularity, data hiding, functionality independence, refactoring. Each of these essential part of design model and must be met in one wishes to develop a software system. So let us see about what is abstraction. Abstraction is the process of hiding complex properties or much characteristics of software itself to keep things more simple, and this allows the user with more efficiency of software complex design, and since it allows the developer to list out the necessary elements or object required. In this principle, the developer will define properties, type of function, and the interface of each of said objects in the project. The developer will be able to hide the complicated, unnecessary details as well as the details which is required for our data. There are three main patterns: architectural, design, and idioms. So, architecture is a high level pattern type that can be defined as the overall conformation and organization of software system itself. Design is which is the medium level of pattern type which is used by developers to solve problems in design stage of a development. It can also affect how objects or components interact with one another. And finally, idioms, which are a lot of level patterns types, often known as coding patterns, and are used as workaround means of setting up and defining how components will be interacting and software itself without being dependent on programming languages. These are different programming languages, all with different syntax rules, and making this requirement to function on variety of pattern. Difference between black box and testing and white box testing. So when you discuss about software engineering concept, definitely there will be a process where testing has to take place. So testing is an important process in your development, software development. So where we segregate about what is black box and what is white box. So black box is the functional based testing, and white box is the uh, process where coding is tested. So black box is done by the tester and white box is done by the developer. As we know that, so black box we have to check what the functionality and test whether the component is working fine or not. So this in every application is developed in some high or low level language. It means code has to be written by its development. So on the basis of knowledge of the tester, the applications may be tested properly. So let us see about the difference between what is black box and white box testing. So black box testing is the test model in which the tester do not have the knowledge about the internal implementation of the application, and tests performed by the testers at very high level and focus on behavior of the application. On the other hand, white box testing is the test model in which testers aware of internal representation and does the testing on the basis of what it is represented. So black box testing is the process work where it's some other such cases where data driven or black box data is done here. In other hand, white box testing is also the structural testing, and clear test code testers are black box testing. And the type is black box testing is the type of testing in which testing is based on external expectation on internal behavior of the application and not made provided to the tester. On the other hand, white box testing is the type of testing in which internal behavior is known as easier and hence the test can done accordingly. So automation is the hard to practice in the case of black box testing, as is aware of internal implementation of the application over which there is a dependency on the developer. On the other hand, in case of white box testing, automation is easier to implement as the tester is well known with an internal implementation of the application, hence we can automate the test and accordingly. So expectation from black box testing is that it makes a clear vision about the functionality of the application with the external input parameters with its report. And while white box testing, which explains that is testing is check the quality of the performance of the application by executing the code of the applications. So testing case design becomes more complicated as an integration of the object-oriented model system begins, it's a stage that testing is collaboration between classes, between the interclass case generation. So we expand the banking example to include the test case and collaborations. So here is the model of a banking model where test case is done and the testing is done according to the model. So here is the ATM machine model where we can test the model with help of functionality. So which is in other words it's called as black box testing. So multiple class testing is also done with the help of the case generated with the help of black box testing. Thank you.